Okay, guys, I don't want to waste your time. I never want to waste your guys' time. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. The ROF Blues, I think, have become one of, if not just single-handedly, the most underrated unit in Dokkan history. And I think part of it comes from like the dissatisfaction with the 11th anniversary, and part of it comes from people just blatantly lying about things about other Easy A's and how good they were around this time, like other fumbles and stuff. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. I'm gonna talk. I bookmarked a few tweets. This is the first one. Uh, Inga, no hate. Let me follow this person. I love people who are very passionate. I love this meme. It's a funny meme. I respect it, but it also is just wrong. Like it's all right. All right, stop. All right, I stop. All right, stop. But they screwed up big when this becomes reality. And then it's a meme. AGL Trunks massive fumble towering over the ROF Blues, but this isn't true. As you can see right here, I said, I responded, it's not a reality. They are far better than Trunks. I fear a bit of exaggeration is happening because this unit is just okay, nothing more. And, that's the truth. This unit, I mean, if we just... it's bad to compare them because the ROF Blues released more recently, so they should be better, and they are better. And so the comparison should be, how good was Trunks on release versus how good these units are on release. But, the 11th anniversary, unfortunately, has not dropped any new difficult, meaningful content, and so we're just comparing them directly because they dropped in the same metas despite being months apart. So, just an unfortunate side effect of the 11th anniversary being very mediocre. But just looking at it, just this kit, like looking at it, let's look at their kit. Let's talk about what we're saying here. So Inga is, saying the ROF Blues are okay for 3 turns on both Goku and Vegeta. After that, they are frauds. Trunks is weak before transforming, but he has a higher chance to dodge after attacking, and his Super Saiyan forms rules over the ROF Blues. I wanted the Blues to be good, but this ain't it. There's so many things wrong with this, okay? To start off, the ROF Blues are, outside of those 3 turns, they are very mediocre. Like, they suck a lot. Like, hold on, I can't zoom in, but, like, you guys can see. Like, you guys know all these abilities for the first 3 turns, they suck outside of that. But this is just also disingenuous because all of the fights and all of the difficult content are right now. It's happening right away. It's in your face. It's right away. They're super difficult. Or, you attack them and by turn 2, turn 3, it's super difficult. And, you finish the fight within 5 to 6 turns or you just are getting slammed. Like the fights are, building up. Some of them are just difficult right away. Some of the bosses don't hang in there. There's lots of sealing. There's lots of locking. There's lots of AoEs. So saying they're only okay for the first 3 turns is true. This is true, but it's also not like a negative because it's fine to only be good for the first 3 turns when you're comparing units because all the fights are happening right there. And it's not like, oh, only 3 turns. No. It's 3 turns and then after 3 turns, you then go into Vegeta and then he's really good for 3 turns. It's like turn 1, you have Goku, who's good, and then turn 3, you have Goku, who's good, and then turn 5, you go into Vegeta, you have Vegeta, who's good, and then turn 7, you have Vegeta, who is good, and then turn 9. That's basically what this complaint is they're only good before turn 9. And it's like, that's like, yeah, like that's a true statement, but that's also not like a massive negative. Like in this current content, like unless we're talking about Festival of Battles, which I don't think we're going to go there with a unit that attack stacks versus a unit that doesn't stack at all. Like Trunks, he is incomparably worse than the ROF Blues. Like it is not really comparable to say that Trunks is much worse than the ROF Blues. Like he is objectively worse than the ROF Blues. For some reason, I don't have the pre-Easy Aid, or not pre-Easy Aid, transformed freaking AGL Trunks put up. But this is not a negative. This is not something that really is very bad. And we see this, Trunks is weak before transforming, but he has a higher chance to dodge after attacking. These are, true, he does have a higher chance to dodge before attacking. He does have he is weak before transforming, and these are all, that's what I'm saying, like this is all true. You're saying true things, but it's like it's like an analogy I heard from one of my professors, which is comparing like physics majors to math majors, where it's like the physics majors are floating away in a hot air balloon and they're, you know, stuck, and they look down at the math majors and they say, hey, I'm like stuck in a hot air balloon, you need to help me. And the math majors say, well, you're in a hot air balloon. And it's like, just like mathematics and just like math majors do, they say something that is completely true and also completely useless. Just like, you know, physics majors do, they just blame math majors for all their problems. And it's like, this is, you know, something that's completely true and also completely useless. Like this is not proving that Trunks is better. This is just acknowledging flaws in Trunks and acknowledging that the blues have abilities that the current content is not like flawed. Like this is not, the blues have abilities that would be flaws, but they aren't flaws because of the way the content right now is designed. And this is the first, you know, until turn 9, they are, you know, good. They're good until turn 9, and, you know, at turn 9 and later they're bad. It's like, that's not a flaw. You know, he has a higher chance to dodge before or after attacking. There are so many AoE fights. There's so many fights that are locking. It's just, to say that being better after attacking with just dodge and still just being worse defensively before attacking, and like, it's not even like Trunks can handle normals. Trunks can't handle any attack. Like, he will take just straight up your entire HP bar on a normal attack. Basically any AoE in the game right now will do your entire HP bar on a singular like attack. If it lands on him, it will kill him. If any locking boss locks him in slot 1 and any attack lands on him, he will die. If anything touches him before he attacks, he will die. And in this meta, with, you know, short content and AoEs, them being better against normals before attacking objectively makes them just significantly stronger, because Trunks will just die. He will just die a lot, and that's just, you know, the truth. And continue, I said, they are good and they are still better than Trunks by miles. Higher chance to dodge after attacking when there are locking and AoE bosses everywhere. Trunks is dodge or die with terrible defense before attacking. In almost every difficult fight, he's objectively worse in. Where does the term restriction matter? Show me where it matters, Inga, please. This is where I'm trying to troll a little bit so it doesn't seem like I'm being rude, but I haven't even checked. I see there's one little response. I haven't checked it, but we'll just like see what it's saying. The gods are just as much dodge or die. And name more than 2 locking fights that are relevant. Locking and AoE bosses are everywhere. I'm gonna give live response. Locking and AoE bosses are everywhere. Asterisk. We currently, just like looking at it right now. Also, I guess I didn't mention that dodge canceling bosses obviously completely annihilate Trunks, but you guys, I think you guys get the gist of it at this point. But this is what I'm trying to say. Like it's like named more than, like, you're not acknowledging the full thing. Like, the gods are just as much dodge or die. No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they are not. No, they are not. No, the gods are not. Because they can handle normal attacks. And they can handle supers on their first turn. If they get locked in slot 1, face a dodging boss, face a dodge canceling boss, or are facing a powerful AoE, they have many tools to handle these things. Exclamation points. This is what I'm saying. Like, these are all, the gods are not, well, this is not a true thing. The gods are not just as much dodge or die. They are not just as much dodge or die or Trunks. This is not true, guys. Dude, if you believe this, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, and name more than 2 locking fights. There really aren't more than 2 locking fights, but that's why I said locking and AoE bosses, is because there's some AoE bosses in there. That's what I'm saying. It's like there's the Tamagami fight, there's the Goku Black and Rose fight. I mean, Goku Black and Rose fight. The Goku Black and Rose fight isn't even a difficult fight, really. I wouldn't say it's not a difficult fight anymore, but it's definitely tapered off a bit because of how squishy the enemies are in there, so that some of the more modern units can just crush those enemies way too quickly for it to be, super, super difficult. But, we're looking at that fight and it still victimizes Trunks with locking and an AoE normal that just does your health bar. Like, it's not very good. But, this is not the only post. Like, they are not comparable. They really are true. This is not, well, I guess this isn't true, but they are very comparable, because the ROF Blue was released months later and they're worse. Or not worse, they're only like I wouldn't say they're like, they are definitely better, and it is by a decent margin, but they are still not like enough better, you know what I mean? Like, Trunks is a victim, and they're like not a victim, and it's like they should be good, they should be great, they shouldn't just not be a victim. Like, we need more than you not being a victim. But this is, like I said, this is not the only post that has been saying some very heinous things. So we jumped from hating on AGL Trunks and pointing out all his flaws. Now we're gonna have to defend him, because actually, let me follow this guy too, make sure I follow everyone who I'm hating on, or I guess I'm ragging on, but like, this is not true. This is not true. Get my boy AGL Trunks out of there now. Get them both out of there. STR Jiren. This is what I'm saying. Like, I feel like a lot of people actually didn't like play the game and use easy. Like, a lot of people aren't playing the game and using easy units when they drop, and so they don't really know like the power level. They just see lots of hate towards it easy on Twitter, and they're like, oh yeah, massive fumble, this unit sucks. And it's like, STR Jiren is leagues worse on release than these two. Like, it's not even, these two look like best units in the game compared to STR Jiren. STR Jiren was actually worthless. Like, he did nothing. Like, he was actually doing nothing. Like, he was so worthless. Like, Trunks, I'm like, oh yeah, like, Trunks is dodge or die before attacking, and there's many bosses that can expose that. Jiren wasn't dodge or die, he would just die. Like, he dies, and he doesn't do damage, and he dies. Like, and he never ever is doing anything. Like, the ROF Blues and Trunks, they are much, much better. Now, I didn't reply to this post, but I did, let's just look at, I mean, obviously, get my boy Trunks out. Trunks shouldn't be in there. ROF Blue shouldn't be in there. Jiren needs to take, like, ladies, is this man bothering you? Like, Jiren, please back up. Please back up. We don't need you here. This card escapes yet again. Yeah, I saw some people say this. This card was very, very, like, trash on release. This is not a very good unit. But, he released in a year where, what was it? He was in 2023, and so it was 8th anniversary. And this card escapes yet again. This is not true. Like, this is, I don't want to say this is not, but like, this character released, and the hardest fight in the game was Omega Shenron, and it was a very long fight that ended in an int phase, but it also had an STR phase. So it was a bit, typing was an issue for this guy for sure. He had that one very, very problematic phase, right? But in that same train of thought, this unit had use. He had use. He was useful. Like, STR Jiren, Int Rose, like, they were worthless. They did nothing. They were trash. They just weren't doing anything ever, and they just died. This unit was useful in the hardest fight in the game. He just had a very obvious flaw in there, and a very obvious way he could get slammed. And I think you could still, like, hide him a bit during that phase, and you could still get to, your final form with all these stacks and do, like, his best turn. This unit is still above STR. This is still above STR Jiren and Goku Black. I think people forget that Omega fight he was still pretty solid in. Int Goku Black was so bad he was trending on Twitter. He has to be here. Yes, Int Goku Black was so bad he was trending on Twitter. Int Goku Black and STR Jiren are of the same level. And I think, yeah, look at this. No int black, but you put AGL Trunks. New gen plus poser. Like, yes, this is W. Yes, you are right. This is a W take. Like, honestly, I'm gonna reply to this post right here. Let me reply to this guy. W take. In reality, int Goku Black and STR Jiren are genuinely harassing these young ladies, ROF Blues and EGL Trunks, and people lumping them together are LARPing having played the game when they dropped. This is the post. This is a good post. This guy knows ball. He should have put ROF Blues in there too, but this guy knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's talking about. I'll look at a couple more here. The one who stands, yeah. You know, I can't hate. This is funny. It's not true. Like I said, the ROF Blues, they're not. Oh my god, look, Maki is there, fucking the AGL Trunks. Like, this is the meme is not true, but it's funny as hell. So I'll let it slide. I'll let this one slide. Just like this is I love the memes. They're actually so funny, but I wish people didn't believe them, and I wish that's why I had to that's why I was arguing with our girl, little Inga. That's why I was arguing with her, because it's her. Let me check. Let's just check. Okay, it doesn't say on profile, but Dokkan power level 4 million. Oh my god, chill out. Like I said, that's why I had to argue, is because I was like, yeah, this isn't reality though. Calling it becomes reality is a bit far. I think that's pushing it. But just the memes alone, nothing said, just the memes, they're funny. I can respect it. This one, this is a bad one. So let's look at the first post. IMO EZA LR Goku was far worse than the ROF Blues. For an EZA anniversary LR, yes, I have to agree. This is an LR release. He was part 2 of the 7th anniversary. He was definitely far worse than what the EZA ROF. This is another one of those characters that was just useless. He was just a bum. He would get slammed, and he just wasn't very good. But I would say the difficult content of the time was not very truly difficult, and so people they don't realize how trash this unit was. And so until GDC fights dropped, we didn't really have any real difficulty, at least in terms of short content besides festivals. So it wasn't easy to see how bad he was. But yes, this is true. This unit is far worse than the EZA ROF Blues. The ROF Blues are not close to how bad this unit was. But since Mini Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta was Annie, got his big glow up recently, that means this guy was an Annie Super EZA. He is actually the worst Annie EZA by a considerable gap. He's on the level of shit like STR Junior. Now, I don't know about worst Annie EZA. This guy definitely could be. I think, in my opinion, STR Gogeta, I have to put him as worse. I have to think STR Gogeta's worse. But, this guy, he's not on the level of STR Jiren. This is what I'm saying. You're overblowing it. He's literally just another evil / Super Saiyan 3 type of character that needs to attack first. After he attacked, he wasn't bad. With the passive up, this guy's nowhere near Jiren, who had a conditional 30% damage reduction. This is wrong. He's not on the level of STR Jiren. He might be the worst Annie EZA. I'll respond with my honest thoughts. This is I think in reality this is LARPing having played back then. This is LARPing having played with STR Jiren. If you actually used STR Jiren back then, you would know this guy did something and lived sometimes. Jiren didn't do anything and would just die. Another release, another reply. This This is he, dude. This unit is not on the level of STR. We have to chill saying things like this. STR Jiren did nothing. He did nothing. He did no damage. He did no support. He just sat there and he was terrible defensively and he was terrible offensively. And he had his medium chance to do, like, what was it, medium chance to, or maybe they bumped it to high chance to stun all enemies. It's like, yeah, man. 30% of the time you're a good world tournament unit. Like that's what he was on release. It's not, he was not very good. He was not good. He was not good. He was not good. This one's a positive one. We'll try to be a bit more positive. Final thoughts just from initial reading before I call it a night. I think Goku's okay. 4 million I don't like to look at the stats, just or like the calcs, because the calcs are like saying 4 million defense. Like that is true with 59% damage reduction. So after attacking, they're not going to be dodge or die. On like some of the big super attacks, but like also this is just saying 4 million defense with 59% damage reduction isn't entirely true, because like that's situational. Like it's the stacks, like whatever you're doing before, like how much build up does he have, like what's going on in the turn, like you know the UI Goku is giving crazy Realm of God support. Like is this including that? Is this after UI Goku attacks? Like it's not like it's a little disingenuous to say this is just what the unit does, but I like it, not gonna lie. Like that's fine. Like I think I also made another post. I'll go look at it after, but I made another post saying that I think here I could just go look at it. Now before I'll look at my full response to this, but I liked it as 4 turns and defense stack carry over to Vegeta. Pretty neat. Yeah. Like this is if this is one of your favorite units of all time, this is what you should think about it. Like this is a pretty okay thing to think. Like they should have been way better. And it's not even that they should have been way better. They should have been doing more. They needed to be doing more. If this character was giving 2-turn Realm of Gods, like big time support, like I would be like, okay, we're fine. Like it's fine. Like this unit, the issue with this unit is that they just kind of hang in there. Like they're not doing a lot. Like they're just hanging in there. You know, they do the damage, they do the defense, and they're hanging in there. Like that's okay, but I would really rather we get a little bit more than that. But Vegeta is a bit distasteful. 5 million, 50% down. I don't know why the damage reduction goes down. I agree. He should be tankier than Goku just due to the high numbers, even at lower damage reduction. Tanking wise, I believe they should be similar to post turn 1. Who's that? Yeah. Not support, of course. I said, yeah, a perfect outlook. They're just okay, really, for the current fights. People comparing them to AGL Trunks or even worse, STR Junior and Rose are tweaking. Yep, 100%. Let's follow this guy. Phone, I love this positive outlook. I really don't want to see I'm already following this. I'm already following Phone. What is it? Phone. No, just you never know what gender someone is nowadays. Rip the woke, man. What happened to pronouns, guys? Come on. But like I was saying, like it's just Phone, like I agree with your takes here. Like this, we need more people. Like if you like this unit, this is the proper like assessment of thinking about them, and I agree that you should be disappointed, but you definitely shouldn't be overreacting. Like the way people are tweaking is the best way to describe a comparison between STR Jiren and Rose and this unit. They're really just okay. Comparing them to AGL Trunks, AGL Trunks is worse, but I think they're about the same level in terms of fumbled ECAs. But this unit is just better. Like just outright, no difficult content has dropped, and this unit is still better than AGL Trunks. No difficult content has dropped in between, like this unit dropping and AGL Trunks EZA. No unit has dropped between those EZAs that really like sets them apart drastically. That isn't like, oh, it's like longer term content that's still difficult, but it's not, turn 500 like festival. Like nothing like that has dropped to where it's like the turn conditions matter a lot. And so it's like they basically have dropped in very similar, almost the same meta fights. And so it's like it's an unfortunate comparison due to the lack of content within the 11th anniversary for AGL Trunks. But also I was gonna look at my home. We looked at some of that. Let me look at my profile. Also want to talk one more about this. This one, okay. No hate to Vector. I never got why there are such large accounts on Twitter that are Dokkan Twitter that act slightly ignorant. Every unit is someone's favorite unit. You would expect the Tau crowd to be the nicest about this whole thing. Yeah, like this sucks for ROF Blue fans. Like the people that are hurt the most about this aren't like random people. They're people who were, I'm sure, like loving the ROF Blues. I believe there was one account named like Celeste, I believe. I'm not sure if I followed them, but it's just, the ROF Blues were a nothing burger on release. Kind of surprised they have this many fans. Like they were a popular unit, and I don't get like it's almost. I thought this was just like a very neutral tweet, but like just calling them, oh, this unit was a nothing burger. Surprised they have this many fans. Someone says because ROF is awesome. It's pretty middling, not gonna lie. Like I don't get. Like look at it, sucky movie, sucky arc, let alone SSB being a weak ass transformation with no highlights ever. Incredibly weird. The following they have. It's like, what's weird about having a favorite Dokkan unit? Lol, like what's this? Why are we jumping on this train of hating like the fans? Like these people, like these poor people, they get this trash easy A. I don't want to call it trash. They get this very mediocre easy A, and like everyone jumps on it and hates it way more than they should be because of how comedically weird it is with them just leaving the passive empty, and it's like now we're just like kind of surprised he had nothing fans. It's a nothing burger release. Like the movie is mid, sucky movie, sucky arc, let alone SSB being a weak ass transformation, incredibly weird the following they have. And it's like, what's this reply say? I think it's one of those situations where because they weren't good on release, people got their hopes up for them to be a success story in EZA. Being mid brings out those people to complain about the designs, and they essentially are going 0-2. Yeah, maybe, but also this unit on release was very mid as well. And it was just fine. They were a cool idea. Having the ROF Blues, I really hope the ROF Blues get a tag unit, or reversible exchange, but a tag unit. You guys get what I mean. But like, I really hope they do, and I really hope that's why they're so comfortable, like not worrying about this, is because they know, like, okay, we've got Tanabata Dokkan Celebration. I don't know, on TDC, what's it, the Dokkan Celebration, whatever it's called now. We have Dokkan Fest LR Final Form into Golden Frieza and Carnival LR tag Resurrection F Blues. We have them lined up, so we're not too worried about fumbling now. Like we'll fix it up later. Like the ROF Blue fans are going to be eating. Like that's the best I can hope for. But that's really all I have to say. Is I've talked a lot about the ROF Blues. Their EZA is definitely a bit underrated. Definitely, not even a bit. It is extremely underrated to like have them be constantly compared to STR Junior and Int Rose. It's not really a bad comparison to compare them to AGL Trunks, but to say that it's a reality that Trunks towers over them is just ridiculous. That is crazy. They are massively underrated. But I guess we'll just have to see, because this unit still hasn't dropped, and they are probably this is one of the most popular EZAs of all time. I think no EZA besides like Dokkan Fest LR EZAs has been like this popular. Like people have not been this like excited about an EZA or like interested in how good they were, despite this being a fumble, since like Tech Ultimate Gohan. Like any TUR EZA, like Tech Ultimate Gohan was like the last EZA to generate like this level of hype, and it was because he's one of those legendary TURs. But like this unit is more like they were mid on release, and now they have funny the memes about this unit being like an anniversary. It's an 11th anniversary EZA and they suck. It's like we've had some TUR EZAs like Super Gogeta that suck too, and it's like this unit it's nothing crazy. I'd have to imagine the 11th anniversary being so dead is why people are exaggerating so much. No hate to anybody in this video besides the people who are hating on the fans. Like I can't get down with that. Like the fans are the people who are suffering the most here, and we're like, oh, you're weird for liking. Like what's weird about it? Liking a shit unit? Like I guess you're weird for that, man. Like I've liked some shit units of all time. Like my top 10 most fun units ever, I almost took off Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta for physical Goten and Trunks, the Dokkan Fest, because But like I ended up not doing it because that that team with all the Goten and Trunks was so fun, and it was like the synergy when they added the same name update was very fun. But them not letting same name characters link and that team struggling turn one to have a slot one unit made me put Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta above them. But like everybody has like weird units they like, and I think it's just very unfortunate the way the ROF Blues ended up turning out. But they're definitely not like all-time fumbles. Like they're not all-time fumbles like that. The anniversary is an all-time fumble. That unit's not an all-time fumble, I think.